Welcome to Warriors TV, and tonight we are talking with Sheffield Scimitars captain Scott Morris. First of all, Scott, thanks for joining us. Difficult result, but how did you think the game went?
Yeah, obviously, you look at the result, it's 7-1. There's not going to be many teams that say they're prouder of 7-1, but obviously our team's different this year. It's all about development and bringing a lot of our young players in. So we have to look at how did we perform again rather than how did the result go. And even though it's difficult to take 7-1, I think the performance were a lot better this week than we've had in previous games. So we've got to take positives out of that, really.
Yeah, definitely. If you compare some of the results maybe Nottingham and Blackburn had when they come here, that's quite a positive scoreline, really.
Yeah. And it's not so much, we keep saying to a lot of our players, we're not focusing on scorelines. We're focusing on what we're doing well. Are we building? Are we improving every single game? And yeah, there's still some things today that we'd like to iron out, but overall, it's a good performance, and that's the main thing for us.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of young players on the team. So how are they settling in? Because, as you said, it's a very different team to last year.
The truth is it's a different team week to week. Because our model this year is all about development, we rely on our under-18s, our players, and if they've got a game, it's always a different team. So, for example, tonight, I think I counted before the game, we've got three or four of our regular players. So it's difficult to gel, it's difficult to get them things in. So we have to rely on the things that we can measure, which is what's the effort like, what's the listening like, how was that game. So it's difficult to settle in as such, but we are getting there.
Yeah, and for like yourself, who was one of the more senior players, shall we say?
You say old, it's fine.
Well, you're not really, but compared to the younger lads, I guess you are a senior person on the team. So, how important is your role on that team, bringing these younger lads through?
It's important. I know Steve, our coach. One of the things he wanted was a core group of senior players. I think if you ask him, he'd probably want more than what we've got. And it is difficult at times because you've got to be patient, which I'm not very patient, but you have to sort of try and bring them along and look at the things that they're doing well, rather than looking at the mistakes as such. Look at what they're doing well and try and bring them along. It's about teaching them your experience without getting too frustrated with the results, really.
Do you think there's still a good possibility you could make the playoffs this season? I know it's the top 8 that I think qualify.
I think there's only 8. I think everyone makes the playoffs this year, like last year, but it's more who do you play in the playoffs, Personally, I won't want to go all the way to Solway, but realistically, like I've mentioned, it's not so much our league standing, it's not so much our results. It's building for the future years. If you look at Nottingham, for example, they've been doing it for a few years. It takes a few years to get there, and now you're seeing them getting results. That's the hope for us, is that the players that are young, they've got the talent, they've got the ability to skate and all that. It's getting the ability to play in this league, and hopefully beyond. The model is to bring players through and to play at a higher level than what we're playing now.
Yeah, and next week, do you have a game next week?
No, we're off now till after Christmas. D-side, I believe, has been cancelled next week. I think it's because of the World Cup final, so I'm really excited about that.
So picking up again in the new year, and I think one of your first games back is back here, I believe, isn't it?
It was, but I think the D-side game from next week's been rearranged to the first, I think it's the 8th or something like that, so it's actually up in D-side.
Okay.
For us, again, it's about us picking back up in the new year, learning from the good things we've done and trying to move past the things that we need to improve on. Tonight's a good step forward, and that's what we need to keep doing, keep taking steps forward.
Well, I want to wish you all the best of luck with that and throughout the rest of the season. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers.